And do you think I was gonna fail you? No way. I got you today my review, demo, swatches, comparisons, everything filmed in natural light of Chanel's Spring Summer 2023 collection. And surprise, surprise, Chanel released their Spring Summer 2023 collection. A little bit late though, because usually we see their collection even at the very end of December or rolling at the very beginning of January. And right now we are in February. In fact, I was having a conversation with my essay on the boutique at Beverly Hills. I went to shop for the Chanel 23P collection. I was just looking into some bags and ready to wear. And she mentioned it to me that this collection is supposed to be released in March, like the very beginning of March, and then the Leblanc collection, which I spoke about on a video dedicated on Chanel News. That one is supposed to be released mid-March. And she even told me, well, if I can do a pre-order, I will do a pre-order for you. And then all of a sudden, this collection arrived into boutiques, and literally Chanel just told the boutiques, start selling it right now. And it totally makes sense because at the very beginning of January, we received the new collection of the Rouge Allure Velvets. And if you remember my video where I swatched those lipsticks, I mentioned it. Usually it's not common for Chanel to do first lipsticks. I mean, if they wanted it to extend the shade range, but to call just lipsticks the spring collection. And I feel the same way it happened with the nude lipsticks, which launched during the fall season, but it had a palette, a little eyeshadow quad with it. So anyhow, Chanel, it seems like they are just struggling a little with when they are releasing what, but this release makes total sense. In fact, to me, these perhaps they were supposed to be released with the Rouge Allure Velvet lipsticks because you're gonna see the palettes right now. You could really tell the color story, call for those pinks, call for those red tones. It wouldn't have been just perfect, and also it would have launched with the 23P collection that is available at boutiques right now. So anyhow, the collection consists in two again oversized, and I say again oversized palettes because we have seen Chanel from last year releasing oversized palettes, first with the Beige collection, the bronzers, and then, well, that they were actually setting powders, but you can also double it up and use them as bronzers depending on your complexion and skin tone. And later on during the holiday season, the oversized luminizers, which are just stunning, gorgeous. And now for the first time, at least of what I remember of, their eyeshadows and blush palettes. We haven't seen these large of palettes from Chanel. I mean, like, obviously with the bronzer and the luminizer from last year, but in terms of eyeshadow, the 9 pan palette, that's when that happened. So again, this collection consists in these two oversized eyeshadow and blush palettes, also a Balm Essential in kind of like a rouge tone, a reddish tone. And the Balm Essential, they are not blushes. It is a very sheer emollient product that is ideal for that no makeup kind of look. It's completely sheer. You will have a hint of color. I have a few in my collection. I think the deepest one that I have is this one, Rosé, that I have actually a review for it, and is one of my most viewed videos. I don't know why, but it's beautiful, but it's not a blush. Although Chanel, they do have blushes on a stick, and they are very few shades, but they are gorgeous blushes, absolutely gorgeous. So I decided to skip on that because I already know the Balm Essentials. They are nothing that really gets me super excited. And also thinking that most likely I'm gonna be getting the Balm Essentials from the Leblanc collection. So I was thinking about all of that. And it's like, I don't need so many. I don't need so many. There's also two new nail polishes. Watermelon is one, and the other one, I don't remember the name, but I will be leaving all the details of this collection, where to get the collection. All the links will be in the description box below for your convenience. Aside from that, there's a few repromos like the Rouge Allure mascara. Now, I heard that it is a red mascara, but I'm a little bit confused because I have a couple essays. I have an essay for my ready to wear, another essay that helps me out with ready to wear and bags, and then a couple other essays for everything that is beauty. But a couple of them they told me is the black one, and then some other ones told me that is red. Now, this one, this is the Rouge Allure mascara. This one right here, it is red when it's new, and it does have, if you, I mean, like I'm seeing it right now against the light. By the way, I film in natural light, and I'm right in front of the window. So this mascara has also some red pigment. So I'm not certain that it's truly red, like it's gonna go red on your lashes. I will make a little note on the description box below just to make sure that I'm giving you the right information in that. But regardless, I was not going to use a red mascara, and I already have another tube of this one, so I'm fine with that. And aside to this mascara, the other re-promote, it is the waterproof eyeliner in the shade Oro, and then 4 Rouge Allure Velvet lipsticks that again they are re-promote, so I didn't need to pick up any of those. So I'm going to focus today obviously on the eyeshadow and blush palettes that I have known about these palettes for months now, so I'm excited to try them. The first one, it is Tendresse. They're made in Italy with a shelf life of 18 months. They cost $90 each, and I know you're gonna say, wow, that's super expensive, but I know I haven't tried them yet, but let's be reminded that one blush from Chanel, it costs about, I think, $45, $48 along those lines, US dollars. Also, an eyeshadow quad from Chanel is $65. Then, if we count that, these are priced quite right. And the amount of product that you get right here, it's plenty. I mean, we're talking about 12 grams of product. That's huge. Okay, my friends. So, this one is the first one, 957 Tendresse. And this is the one that I was most excited for. Look at this beauty. Oh my. This looks amazing. I don't even want to swatch it, but we have to. So we have this beautiful shade that to me, this is perfect. You know, this is kind of that pillow talk shade. We do have a highlighter. Now, this is a baked gelée formulation, very soft, very smooth, but non-powdery. And this highlighter is not super beaming. Definitely is not a luminizer, as you know, I love, priority for me are luminizers, but I can tell too that this is finely milled and it's not like way too much. And then we have this shade. Ooh, this shade is so pretty too. Peachy tone. And then we have this other shade that kind of reminds me a little bit too. Uh, there was a blush from Chanel from many years ago. It was something sun. There is a light to reflects. It's a light to jersey, but again, it's called sun, and it has a little bit of that goldeny tone. Yes. And because this is a very light kind of tan shade, I'm pretty sure for those with fair and light skin tones, you most likely will be able to use it as a bronzer. I'm a little bit perhaps too deep for it, but we're going to try it. We're going to have fun with this. So let's just go ahead and swatch first. Tendresse. And I'm just going to put it right here. They swatch super smooth. Let's go for the second quad, which is called Caractere. And again, the packaging is the same. There's no difference. They're limited edition. And the sad thing about this pack is that it arrived broken. So, I mean, it's not in multiple pieces, but a couple of these shades, they fall off. Like yesterday when I was opening it up, the gold one fell off, and then today another one fell off. So this one came faulty. So this is it. Okay, I'm gonna tilt it as much as I can. It's more intense. Definitely this one will work ideally for a person with a deeper complexion. Ooh, this shade. Actually, this shade is more like the Pillow Talk, I think. Or perhaps in between than the gold one. This for someone with deeper complexions. Be amazing. This shade has a little bit of like a brown undertone, but it, to me, definitely this is not a bronzer, at least For those who have light, medium tan, no, I think if you're tan to almost deep and rich complexion, you may be able to work this one perhaps as a blush slash bronzer, but yeah, I mean, and I think for many, this is the palette that everybody was like, wow, we're getting flashback of Lucia Pica. Because, I mean, yeah, I know with the reds. But if you look at them closely, the only red shade is this one. Then the other ones are not. And these are, like I said, eyes and face palette. It's not only for the eyes. I have a few other palettes that I'm going to compare it to, but now let's move on into the application. I'm going to go first with Tendresse, and let's go for the peachy tone. I'm going to be using a Refer 19 brush. Okay, it's not a powdery type of blush. As you can tell, the brush was able to pick up some, but not a ton, which that's a good sign. That means that you're going to be able to build it up. I'm just digging in a little bit more. And I'm just taking it right here in the front of the cheeks. Ooh, this is not shy at all whatsoever. Look at that. Wow. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Okay, Chanel. I thought it was gonna be lighter and not that pigmented because of what I was able to see here on the brush, but I was wrong. Really wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna flip the brush and just use the clean side. And I'm gonna go to this deeper shade. And now that I know the formula, which this is a good sign because I know a lot of us, we make complaints of like, oh, just two palettes, you know, it's not going to be enough for everybody. But when a formula is well done and you're able to build up the pigmentation, that's really good because that actually means that the palette will work for many skin tones. So now I'm going to apply this shade on the back of my cheeks and next to my temple. Oh, wow. Again, a lot of pigment. And in terms of the finish, it's not a matte finish, but rather a very like soft, almost satin finish. It has a little bit of a slight sheen to it, but it's not highlighter, doesn't have any glitter, it's not metallic. It just looks very natural, super, super natural. And it has kind of this blurring kind of effect too that I'm enjoying so much. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty, but they are intense. Next, I'm going to go with a highlighter. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, this is not a luminizer. It's a true highlighter, but is so smooth. This is so, so smooth, so soft. It's not going to emphasize. I do have texture, and I'm sure you're going to be able to see it through the camera because, again, I'm filming natural light, but this is just, wow, stunning. I got even closer to the window so that way you can see it. You see, this is the first blush, the peachy tone, and then the pinky tone, and then this highlighter. It does have a little bit more of a pinky peach tone. Super beautiful. With a BK Beauty 111 brush, I'm going to go to this shade and I'm going to use it as a bronzer just on this side of my face. See how this goes. Oh, that's very, very soft. I'm going to put it right here on my forehead so you can see it too. You can definitely, like I said, if you are lighter than my skin tone, you can use it as a bronzer. To me, it's going to be more of a neutral nude blush instead. But another thing that I'm thinking too is I may be using the wrong brush. The brush is really good, but I may need something like a natural hair bristle. This is by Sonia G. It's her new brush from the Niji collection. I'm just gonna go with this one, and this may pick up more of the product. Oh yeah, this pick up more of the product right away. So I think right now that I'm at my Payless, can definitely use this shade as a bronzer. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. So far, so good. Let's use these shades on the eyelids. Refer number 15 brush, and I'm going to go to this shade. I'm going to take it above the crease. Oh, this even all over the eyelid. Looks so beautiful. It's a nude tone. And it's not too warm. It's not neutral. It's more like doré. That's why I was saying it reminds me a lot to that blush Sun. I don't remember, Sun something. But yeah, it was discontinued long ago. Way, like years ago. That's beautiful. Let's go to this shade. And I'm using a BK Beauty 211 brush. And I'm just taking it on the outer V. So pretty too. It doesn't look red. It looks like it does have a brown undertone to it that makes it look very beautiful. Sonia G Worker 2, and I'm gonna go to this beauty. And I'm applying it inner portion of the eyelid all the way, like all this, until it meets with the other shade. I'm gonna go with my finger and apply the highlighter shade right in the center as a spotlight. So beautiful. Oh, such a beautiful shade. That's so pretty. BK Beauty 204 brush, and I'm gonna go to this shade, and I'm taking it on my lower lash line. And with a Sonia G flat definer, I'm gonna go to the deeper shade, and I'm gonna take it also my lower lash line, and you know how I like to just deepen out just the outer third of the lower lash line with a deeper shade. I'm gonna use that Noir Allure mascara. Now this mascara is not gonna give you like super high impact. It's gonna give you a lot of separation and definition on your lashes and length. And I will not suggest to build it quite a lot because then it loses the effect that it has. It's not volumizing, and because of that one, you can definitely use it on your lower lashes with easy. And then as it dries down, you're going to start feeling that it starts getting kind of like a sticky even against the wand. It's a very interesting formula. I do have a review on this mascara though, just in case if you are curious. But there you have it. Let's go for Caractere, and I cannot because otherwise this will flop. And I'm gonna be using also a Refer 19 brush. This is completely clean, and I'm gonna go to this shade, which looks lovely. This is how much I picked up, not too much. Once again, I'm just taking it right on the front of the cheeks, which I usually don't do. Such a pretty shade. Definitely give me pillow talk vibes. Yes, it does. It's not patchy, and it does have this kind of cloud-like effect. When I say cloud-like, is that it's a little bit velvety in the finish, which is so pretty. Flipping this, and now here we have two, and you can see right here how this has more of like a raspberry tone, and this one is reddish, but it's kind of like a strawberry. What should we do? Well, I'm gonna use a little bit of this shade, and I'm just gonna apply it kind of right in the middle so you can see the shade. And I'm not applying anything here above. It's intense. For my skin tone, it's intense. With a BK Beauty 108 brush, I'm gonna go to the red shade. and immediately you're gonna pick up so much. Yeah, do you see that? This shade has a strawberry tone. It's definitely red, yeah. Honestly, out of this palette from the blushes, they are cute, but they are not for my skin tone. I think, if anything, I like this shade, but the rest, I think it would. I'm being honest with you, it's beautiful, but I feel like this one, it may work with a good tan or for someone with deeper complexion. I have to be honest. I have to be honest with you. Now, I have to be honest that I really want to put this shade. I'm using an Hourglass brush on my nose. I love to do that because we receive sun on the highest points of our face and it looks so quote unquote weird when we don't have anything on our nose. Okay, that's a cute shade. I like it. Okay, let's go for the highlighter, this baby, and I'm gonna go with a Refer number 20 brush. Oh, he's moving the highlighter like I don't want it to. Oh, ooh, that's intense, so intense. I'm just gonna flip this and I'm gonna buff it a little because wow, that's beaming. And it's more beaming also because of my skin tone. It's not meant to be for my skin tone. That's what it is. And let's use it on the eyes. So I'm gonna go with a Refer 27 brush and I'm going to the lightest shade and I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna take it above the crease. Now here's where I'm finding trouble. I'm gonna go with this shade first and I'm just gonna diffuse it on the outer third. Okay, this has a lot of pigment, a ton of pigment, which is great. Look, that was so easy to achieve. No complications at all and whatsoever. You know, why not? Let's just keep going and let's just take it all over the mobile lid. And with a SONIA G worker, I'm gonna go to this shade and I'm just gonna take it on the outer third. That looks pretty actually. I'm impressed how it looks on the eyes. It looks very elegant and rather seductive. BK Beauty 204 brush and I'm gonna go into this shade. I don't think I want to use a red shade for outlining my lower lash line. I think I'm going to leave it pretty much at that. With a Smith 253 brush, I'm going to go to this shade. You see how it's moving? This is the one that is completely loose. The other one, it's falling already. So here, I'm just going to put it right on the center of the eyelid. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. This is very pretty, very elegant, and rather sultry. Like I said, for a summer night. Okay. Now, if I want to build it up, I can go ahead and just use my finger. See right there? And I can just dab it. And it's just going to be even more intense. Same mascara. I'm going to line my lips with Nude Brun. And I'm going to dab on Eternelle. This is not one of the repromotes. I have two other repromotes, but I cannot find them. And as you know, my friends, if you watch my last vlog, I'm in the process of just reorganizing all my makeup, and it is a little bit chaotic. Not because I don't care about my makeup, because it's not that. It's just I'm taking everything out from the doors to re-put them on because after so many moves, I need to reorganize them. So just gonna, it's a little bit of this shade. Just gonna dab it lightly. to get a hint of pink tone. And then I'm going to use one of the most beautiful lip glosses that I have from Chanel. The name is something Honey. Again, all the products will be in the description box below. It's like my foundation, to my jewelry, everything. I love this shade. So good. It makes all the difference. And I love the applicator too. There you have it, friends. Tendresse and Caractere. Now let's go for comparisons. Starting first with Tendresse. This beauty right here, honestly, as soon as I saw it, it reminded me to a combination of two eyeshadow quads. One of them, it is Warm Memories, which is one of my favorite eyeshadow quads from Chanel. I'm gonna put them side by side. And then the other palette is Candeur et Provocation, which it was one of the last collections from Lucia Pica. So I went ahead and swatched, well, I re-swatched Tendresse right in the middle, and then I have Warm Memories here and Candeur et Provocation on this side. To me, I feel that it is kind of like a combination of both of them, but the shades are not repeated shades. They are not exactly alike. I mean, they can give you a very alike look, but that doesn't mean that they are equal or repeated shades. And in terms of character, it actually reminds me to Candeur et Séduction, also the same collection as Candeur et Provocation from Lucia Pica. I know. So I have here Caractere and Candeur et Séduction. I know. They are not equal, but very close. If perhaps I mean, like, this is a deeper shade than this one has more of like raspberry tone. This is a little bit warmer. Yeah, there's subtle difference, and this one is a true gold tone, and while this one is more of like a almost mauve pink kind of shade. Beautiful, nonetheless. Now, at the beginning, I also mentioned to you that Tendresse, as well as the other palette, recalls me to the new face palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm just going to show them to you side by side. I have here Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. This is the lighter version. Have them. And then let me show you versus the deeper one. Now, in terms of swatches, I do have right here in the middle, the one from Chanel, Tendresse, which is the lighter one. And then on this side, I have the lighter palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the deeper palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I don't feel as that they are dupes or identical. Perhaps on the deeper palette, you can find this red shade I like to it. Maybe the peachy tone I like to this shade, but then you will have to, I mean, no, the highlighter is not the same. And then this kind of nudie tone blush slash bronzer, you cannot find it on any of the palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's compare also Caractere with the Charlotte Tilbury palettes. So as you, I'm not gonna tilt it completely, but this gives you an idea. And then here's the deeper one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is Caractere right in the middle. And then we have the lighter palette from Charlotte, which doesn't have anything to do with its deeper one. And then here it is the deepest palette from Charlotte Tilbury. And take a close look. Charlotte, Chanel, deep, Caractere, and then light. You know, to the deeper version, it does have some similarities in perhaps three of the shades. This shade is lighter though than the highlighter in here. To me, there's no doubt that Caractere from Chanel, the deepest one, is the one that is going to cater the best for deeper complexions. Even I will adventure to say even better than the one from Charlotte Tilbury. And in terms of the formula, actually, they are not the same. I feel that there's some little subtle difference than the ones from Charlotte Tilbury, but it's as good as a Charlotte Tilbury face palette because I went ahead and did my application very lightly with Caractere, the deeper palette from Chanel, just because otherwise it's gonna be just too much for me. And with very deep shades, sometimes the shade can look patchy. And it's not the fault of the shade or the formula. In fact, to me, this formulation is as good and pretty similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. Perhaps Charlotte Tilbury has a little bit more silkiness and more softness, but these ones are so good. I mean, like in comparison, this is a great formulation that Chanel is bringing to us. They have a lot of pigment. You can build it, you can go lightly or build it to your intensity. So even though they are just two palettes, they will cater multiple skin tones, no doubt about it. Now, the obvious, which one is my favorite one? For my skin tone, it will be Tendresse. I love this palette. This is just so good. It gives a beautiful look. Although this palette will be amazing for those summer days and if you want a sultry look. The raspberry tones in here, strawberry, raspberry, this deep and warm at the same time. Really beautiful palette, really beautiful palette, but I know I will use a lot more this palette. And now some of you may say why they didn't brought bronzers, because at the end they are giving us 3 blushes and 1 highlighter. This is the thing, we tend to complain for everything. We find everything that there's something wrong about something, but this is the same thing that my opinion with the Charlotte Tilbury face palettes of last year. It is that if a brand decides to put a true bronzer on a quad, they need to not only bring 2, but most likely at least 4. And not even then, it will complement every skin tone. And then there's going to be complaints that they are not inclusive, that they are too deep, too warm, too red, blah. It is definitely a common complaint, although it would have been really nice and perhaps seeing different, like 3 or 4 variations would have been lovely too. I'm not going to complain about that. The thing that I like is that I can use this one as kind of like a bronzer or like a shade that can warm up my complexion, mostly now that I'm at my palest. But yeah, I that is my opinion about that. Having 3 blushes, I love blushes. They are just so pretty and they give life to our cheeks, and sometimes giving us too many highlighters, we don't go through highlighters as much as we will go with a blush. That is my personal opinion. So I think the move right here to give us 3 blushes, although it may seem a little bit too much, is great. If I would have loved to see 4 palettes with actually each of them a bronzer that will cater, a range of skin tones, not being precise, that would have been lovely too. But this is a great step for Chanel and actually moving Chanel from their comfort zone. They are trying to please the new generations. um, it's a hard move because Chanel, they are Chanel. They always, I mean, like even the look that I'm getting right here is very much Chanel. It's not gonna be like wow, intense too much, because that's not Chanel. Chanel needs to keep their essence, and I hope that they never lose it, because that's why a lot of us, we love Chanel, and I think they were able to keep their essence and just bring another format. Would I love to see more of these large palettes? Not really. I'm honest with you. I like what I see right here, and perhaps if they decide to bring another set, could be next year or at the end of the year, and again, just something different. But I love that they are trying the waters, and I love they are trying to please the new generations, and they are becoming a little bit like, okay, let's move forward a little with the beauty department as much as they have been doing with the fashion. They are ready to wear, their new bags. They have always been trendsetters on the fashion area that I like to see them adventuring on the beauty department. still keeping their essence. But yes, my friends, this is it for this video. I would love to know from you, are you excited about these two oversized palettes? Are these something that you're interested on, or you're like, no, this is not me, why are they doing it, I don't like them, or I love them, I call my essay and immediately place an order? And do not forget, I will make sure to let you know as soon as I know that these palettes are available to purchase online. You will know from me, from my community tab. That's why it's super important that you're subscribed to my channel with the post notification bell on, because that's the only way that YouTube will give you an alert, not only when I'm uploading a new video, but also when I'm posting on my community tab, which is kind of like an Instagram that is super easy to post something, some news, something that is going on in the channel, or what's going to be new and upcoming, etc. Also, if you have Instagram and TikTok, it will be lovely if you can go ahead and follow me there, because on Instagram, on my stories, super easy. I let you know this has come back on stock. This is a new launch, an early access and whatnot. I'm there for you. Also, what I'm gonna do is, when these palettes are available at the website, I will edit my description, but I also will put a pinned comment so that way you know where to get them right away, because I'm sure these are gonna fly. These are gonna be just madness. When I was talking with my different essays, they were like, this is just crazy. Everybody is calling us because they want to get their orders in for these palettes. They are just absolutely beautiful, great quality, great formulation, and I love the color stories. If you like this video, it will really help me to give it a thumbs up, because that's the only way that YouTube will say, hey, let's promote this video. It has great information. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, it was informative in any way, please give it a thumbs up, share with family and friends. And if you're not done watching my content, I'll be leaving a couple other videos right here that I'm sure you're gonna love. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.